that to you. You would have heard it in the overture the silky sounds of the flugelhorn player Carol. And Carol is now our next soloist, our first soloist of the evening. And she's chosen to play a wonderful composition by Peter Graham, the setting of Away in a Manger. Ladies and gentlemen, to perform Peter Graham's beautiful Away in a Manger, Carol Porter. So we stay in the major scene for our next musical offering, and we turn our attention to the compositional talent of Eric Whittaker, who composed Lux Arunque, meaning light and gold. Whittaker based his music on a Latin poem of the same name. Light, warm and heavy as pure gold, and the angels sing softly to the newborn babe. Lux Arunque. I have to put my history teacher cassette in, and all my military analysis, and the doctorate that I got in that. Hopefully I won't get wrong when I brief out some facts here. The next piece, Christmas Truce, is all about the proceedings that began in 1914 on the Western Front, when Ollie brought out music stands on the orders of the newly appointed Pope Benedict. No, that's not exactly true. I got that wrong, didn't I? There was a newly appointed Pope not long after the outbreak of war in 1914, and he hoped that the war would be over by Christmas. Of course, we know that not to be true now. The Pope pleaded with world leaders to call a ceasefire on the eve of the birth of the baby Jesus Christ. But the world leaders refused to listen. However, the officers on the front line chose to ignore that order. The German Emperor himself, William II, sent Christmas trees to his troops on their front line. The Germans placed on the edge of their trenches Christmas trees and candles and sang, "O Christmas tree, Tannenbaum, Stille Nacht." The Allied forces, British Expeditionary Force, heard this occurring and wondered, what on earth is this all about? And they joined in with their own Christmas carols days before Christmas Eve. Moved forward to Christmas Eve, and the officers in the trenches decided to ignore their own respective leaders. And they had a live and let live policy where they failed to fire. Artillery was silenced, guns stopped, and we had the beginning of the Christmas truce. The German soldiers appeared above their trenches, walked into no man's land, waving their arms. The British Expeditionary Force did the same, and they met in the middle on Christmas Eve, shook hands, made friends, all for one day. They sang carols together. Some even played matches of football. And it's reported that some couldn't even get a ball out to the trenches, morale packages, so they used cans of bully beef and booted that around a little bit. The Germans, the Saxons, amongst them, spoke with the English in English, and they got on like a house on fire. The ceasefire and the Christmas truce also provided respite for the soldiers in order to look after their wounded, care for their sick, and of course, the dead. It was a very poignant time, and it would be a tradition then that would happen and occur every Christmas in what is called the Christmas truce. Throughout the past 12 months, the band have been performing the music of Jonathan Bates to great success. He's a fantastic composer, and he has composed what I believe to be a wonderfully intelligent masterpiece, where he weaves in some incredible music, some moments of real beauty and visceral drama. Take yourselves back to the Western Front and enjoy Jonathan Bates's Christmas Truce.
The Christmas Truce of 1914 is often celebrated as a symbolic moment of peace in an otherwise devastatingly violent war. We may like to believe that for just one day, all across the front, men from both sides emerged from the trenches and met in no man's land to exchange gifts and play football. But first-hand testimonies help us get closer to what really happened. By Christmas Eve itself, the damp weather gave way to the cold, and the festive frost settled on certain places at the front. As the main night of celebration in Germany, candles and trees went up along parts of the German line. And as darkness fell, the entrenched German and British soldiers